If you've ever noticed a white, powder-like substance appearing on your lawn or garden, then you may be dealing with a common lawn disease known as powdery mildew. Powdery mildew normally isn't fatal to plants, but it does slow down plant growth and kill affected plant parts. So in this video, we'll show you how to identify powdery mildew and treat it so your garden and lawn can stay strong through the growing season. To shop the products in this video and learn even more about powdery mildew, click the icon in the top right of the screen or click the links in the description below. Powdery mildew is one of the easier diseases to identify because of its distinct and recognizable look. Early signs will appear as small spots of white powder appearing on a plant's surface. If it's left alone, the spots will grow to cover entire leaves and other plant parts in a layer of powder. Powdery mildew will usually appear on the top side of leaves, but it can also grow on the underside. This fungus does not affect the root system. However, it may appear on virtually any part of the plant that is above ground. Check your plants for signs of disease. Plants that are vulnerable to powdery mildew include, but are not limited to, calendula, delphinium, crepe myrtle trees, and tulip trees. The disease is also known to infect all varieties of turfgrass. However, fescues and Kentucky bluegrass are the most vulnerable. Unlike normal mildew, powdery mildew will thrive in warm and dry climates that see periods of altering humidity. The fungus will produce more spores with higher relative humidity, and in lower relative humidity, the spores are more easily spread by wind and airflow. If you found powdery mildew and you're concerned about it spreading to other plants, you can relax. Powdery mildew usually does not spread to plants of different species than its host plant. So if you found the fungus on your lawn, it's not going to spread to your flowers or nearby trees. When inspecting your property, note which plants have visible signs of powdery mildew, as you'll use this information to direct your treatment. Before starting any treatment, be sure to wear your personal protective equipment, or PPE, and remember to keep all people and pets off the treated areas until dry. Begin treatment by pruning afflicted plants and removing parts with visible signs of infection. Do not place these parts in the compost. Spores can lay dormant in soil and debris for several years, creating the risk that the fungus could come back. Dispose of the infected parts by throwing them in the trash. Once you've removed the infected parts, use a fungicide like Patch Pro as a treatment to stop and control the growth of the fungus. Patch Pro is a systemic fungicide, so it will absorb into the vegetation and attack the disease head-on, leaving the plant unharmed. Make sure you're applying the correct labeled rate to achieve desired results. To get rid of powdery mildew on ornamental plants, apply Patch Pro with the proper labeled rate for the plant you're treating. You'll use a labeled rate that varies between 2 to 24 fluid ounces of product per 100 gallons of water. Since different plants will have different tolerance levels for Patch Pro, you'll need to check the label for your specific plant and treatment. If your plant is not included on this list, you can test Patch Pro on a small scale before making a full application. Do not apply Patch Pro to African violets, begonias, Boston ferns, or geraniums. To get rid of powdery mildew on turfgrass, apply Patch Pro at the labeled rate of 1 to 2 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet of treatment area. As a preventative treatment, we recommend using 1 ounce of Patch Pro per 1,000 square feet with enough water to sufficiently treat the area. Typically, 1 gallon of water will treat 1,000 square feet. If powdery mildew is already established in your lawn, use 2 ounces of Patch Pro per 1,000 square feet. This will control the established mildew and prevent further spread. When it comes to turf and vegetation diseases, it is always best to apply product before the disease can establish itself. It's recommended you apply Patch Pro mid to late summer, depending on your local climate. Infections occur between 62 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit, so make an application about 2 weeks before temperatures reach that threshold. Do not apply more than the maximum labeled rate of 16 ounces per 1,000 square feet per year. We recommend using a 20-gallon hose and sprayer to apply Patch Pro since it's easy to use and great at making small or large applications. If your treatment's labeled rate is per 100 gallons of water, simply divide the labeled amount of product and water by 5 to get your rate per 20 gallons of water. First, remove the reservoir from the nozzle. Make sure the sprayer's control valve and your water pump are off, then attach the nozzle to the hose. Add the proper amount of Patch Pro, then fill the reservoir to the top with water. The product will mix with the water and create an even emulsification. Double check to make sure your control valve and water pump are still off. Then reattach the reservoir to the nozzle. Once you've ensured a tight connection, you can now turn on the water. To spray, push forward on the control valve. To stop, simply pull the valve back into the off position. Apply Patch Pro to infected plants, areas affected by powdery mildew, and the surrounding areas to prevent the spread. For preventative treatments, you may apply Patch Pro to plants and areas that you know will be affected by powdery mildew when conditions become conducive for disease development. Also treat areas in your lawn that are heavily shaded or have poor water drainage. Be sure to spray turf and plants to the point of wet, but not runoff. Make a follow-up application 14 to 28 days after your initial treatment. After about 2 weeks, you should see a noticeable reduction in size of the afflicted areas. For preventative treatments, you'll need to make several follow-up applications for total control. An effective way to protect your lawn from diseases and fungi is to maintain its health and keep it strong. By taking proper care of your plants and grass, it's more capable of fighting off powdery mildew when it comes around, thus halting the spread of the disease. Rake and dethatch your lawn so more sunlight, water, and future chemical treatments can more easily reach the soil. Trim back tree branches to reduce shade on your lawn. This will not only help nutrients reach your turf, but also encourage evaporation and drainage, so your lawn can retain the proper amounts of moisture. Prune your plants on a regular basis to keep them healthy and encourage new growth. When watering your plants, be sure to water the soil and not the leaves. If you water the leaves, spores could potentially wash into the soil where the fungus can lay dormant. When watering your lawn, water properly. Your lawn needs 1 to 1.5 inches of water every week, whether that's through rainfall or irrigation. Water your lawn once a week on the same day in the morning. It's better to water your grass deeply once a week than do it a little every day. Deep watering will encourage stronger roots, whereas shallow watering will create a weaker root system that's more susceptible to disease. Be sure to mow your grass to the proper height. Tall grass encourages deeper root growth and strengthens your lawn. You want your grass to be about 3 to 4 inches in height, so adjust your mower accordingly. Also take the time to make sure your mower is in good shape. The oil should be changed at least once a year and the blades should be sharpened regularly. Finally, keep a proper fertilizing schedule. By keeping nitrogen levels stable and laying fertilizers high in potassium, you'll maintain strong plants and turf that are better equipped to fight disease. Be aware that if there's too much nitrogen in the soil, you'll actually encourage disease development. Powdery mildew is a fungal lawn disease that can damage gardens and turf, but you can control it yourself with these professional products and tips from Solutions Pest and Lawn. These products and tips will help you get control of your powdery mildew problem, and we offer same-day shipping to help you get control quickly. Visit our website to get your products today. If you like this how-to guide, please share. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe for more how-to and product videos, and contact us for more tips, tricks, and DIY pest solutions.